I've wanted all those places, so let's go do it again, right? Watkins Glen's probably my favorite road course we go to. Richmond is statistically one of my best racetracks that we go to. And then Daytona's been one of our best racetracks since I've been at RCR with Team Chevrolet. So, feel really good about our opportunities in the next 3 weeks.
Kyle Busch has just 3 races left to make it into the 2025 NASCAR playoffs. He hasn't won in 2 years, and his chance to race for the championship is almost gone. Every race now counts. Can he pull off a win and make it into the playoffs, or will this be the year he misses out? Kyle Busch is a famous NASCAR driver known for his strong racing and many wins, but now he's facing one of the hardest parts of his career. The 2025 season has been tough for him, even though he has won a lot in the past. Right now, it's not clear if he'll make it into the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs. With only 3 races left in the season, he doesn't have much time to turn things around. As it stands, Kyle Busch is 19th in the standings, far outside the coveted top 16 spots that will advance to the playoffs. His current position is a far cry from the dominance he's known for in NASCAR. With just 3 races remaining, Busch's only hope for playoff qualification lies in a win. But with the competition heating up and his recent struggles, securing that victory is far from guaranteed. Busch's story is one of highs and lows. The 2024 season was a tough blow for the 9-year-old driver, marking the first time in his career that he failed to win a race. After a season of ups and downs, he ended up outside the playoffs for the first time since the modern playoff format began. But despite his struggles, Busch has always been a fighter, and the question now is whether he can rally in 2025. This season has been no different, with Busch still seeking his first victory of the year. While his team's performance has been solid, consistent finishes have proven elusive. Busch's only path to the playoffs now appears to be a dramatic late-season victory. With so little time remaining, he knows that every lap, every pit stop, and every decision on the track counts more than ever before. The first opportunity for Busch to make a mark will come at Richmond Raceway, a track where he has historically performed well. With 6 wins and an average finish of 7.0 at Richmond, Busch has the experience and track record to succeed there. However, Busch has also acknowledged that past performances alone won't guarantee a win this time. The competition is fierce, and every race is a battle for survival. In an interview, Busch spoke candidly about his outlook for the remainder of the season. "I'm not going to lie, time is running out, and I know that," Busch said, "but I also know what we're capable of. Richmond is a track where we've had success, and if we execute well, we'll have a shot." Busch's comments reflect a sense of urgency that has come to define his mindset this year. With just a few races left to secure a win in a playoff spot, every decision will matter. There's little margin for error, and Busch is keenly aware of that. The pressure to perform at his best is intense, but it's nothing new for a driver who has dealt with high stakes throughout his career. The upcoming race at Richmond will not only be crucial for Busch's playoff chances, but also for his legacy. He's been in this situation before, and his career has been marked by comebacks and perseverance. But will his experience be enough to overcome the challenges of a season that has been far from smooth sailing? Richmond is just one of the tracks where Busch hopes to make a statement. The following race at Daytona is another opportunity for him to prove himself. Known for its unpredictability, Daytona often produces thrilling finishes and upsets. For Busch, the race represents a chance to turn the tide on his playoff chances. Daytona has been one of our best racetracks since I have been at RCR with Team Chevrolet. I feel really good about our opportunities in the next 3 weeks. However, while Daytona presents an opportunity, it also brings risks. The unpredictability of the track means that Busch will need to be strategic, especially with his playoff hopes hanging in the balance. The stakes could not be higher, and Busch knows that a mistake now could seal his fate. "You have to stay focused, stay calm, and take the opportunities when they come," he added. After Daytona, there's one more race before the playoffs, and it will be at Watkins Glen. A track that has presented both challenges and victories for Busch, Watkins Glen could be the site of his final push. With his playoff hopes on the line, Busch will need to finish strong. "Watkins Glen is a tricky track, but we've had success there in the past," he said. "It's all about making sure we stay in the fight and not giving up." The remaining races of the season are critical for Busch. Each one presents a new challenge, but each also provides an opportunity to secure a win and punch his ticket to the playoffs. With the clock ticking down, Busch is focused on doing whatever it takes to make the playoffs. "We can't afford to leave anything on the table," he said. "We have to go for it." While Busch's situation may seem dire, it's worth noting that he has been here before. Busch's career is defined by his ability to persevere through adversity. He's one of the most successful drivers in NASCAR history, with over 60 Cup Series wins and multiple championships. His experience and talent make him a formidable competitor, and it's no surprise that many are still betting on his ability to pull off a dramatic late-season run. The pressure on Kyle Busch is huge. He's been at the top of NASCAR for years, but now, with his playoff hopes on the line, he might miss out. No one expected this at the start of the season, but it's something he has to face. "I've been around long enough to know that anything can happen," he said, "but it's up to us to make it happen." Busch's chances of making the playoffs depend on how he performs in the next few races. The challenges are big, but his determination is strong. "We know what we need to do," Busch said. "Now it's about going out there and getting it done." As the final races approach, Busch's playoff hopes will be decided by how well he handles the pressure. He's been in tough situations before, but this feels different. The stakes are higher than ever, and there's less room for mistakes. His legacy as one of NASCAR's greats is at risk, and he knows this season could change the course of his career. Fans and analysts are watching closely as the playoffs get closer. Every race now matters for Busch's chances of making it to the postseason. In the coming weeks, we'll see if Busch can find the drive that made him a champion. "We're not giving up," Busch said. "We're going to fight until the end." As the NASCAR Cup Series moves toward its final races, Busch's fate is in his hands. The chance to make the playoffs is still there, but it will take everything he has to make it happen. With time running out, Busch will need to rely on his experience, skill, and drive to secure his place in the playoffs and prove he still has what it takes to compete with the best. The final stretch of the 2025 season is here. For Kyle Busch, these next races will decide his playoff hopes and his legacy. Will he make the playoffs? Or will this be the year his streak ends? Only time will tell. Will Kyle Busch make the playoffs? Hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates. Drop a comment below and let us know if you think he'll make it. Don't forget to like the video if you're cheering for him.
Mexico was very, very challenging logistically. Very, very tough on our race teams to prepare the cars a week, 10 days in advance. Like, just a tremendous task. And not only the task.
On the 4th of August, 2025, Denny Hamlin talked about some big problems in NASCAR. He said things that got a lot of people's attention. Just 2 days after the Iowa race, he used his own show to speak up. He didn't just talk about one problem, he talked about many. What he said made people stop and listen. On the Actions Detrimental podcast, Denny Hamlin addressed problems stemming from tire performance during the Iowa Speedway Cup Series race. Hamlin described a yo-yo effect at short tracks like Martinsville, where passing became nearly impossible. "It's the yo-yo effect you see at Martinsville. No one can pass," he said. He added, "You can't pass the 30th place car. That is the problem we're talking about, and that is what we have to fix." He attributed the issue to tire compounds. He noted that the tires showed very little fall-off over 50 laps, leaving leaders able to hold position on half throttle. He said, "That means the tire is so hard that it just takes a dramatic amount of downforce to push that tire into the racetrack and get it to grip. Nobody but the first few cars have enough air to do that." The result at Iowa was a predictable win. William Byron, leading much of Stage 3, claimed the checkered flag. Few passing opportunities made strategy hinge on restarts and fuel rather than competing pace. Hamlin called the race outcome ho-ye-hum, in effect. In the same podcast, Hamlin turned his focus to NASCAR's Mexico City weekend. He expressed relief after learning NASCAR would not return there in 2025. He described the trip as logistically demanding, with teams loading cars a week to 10 days early. "We are wiping our forehead," he said. Mexico was very, very challenging. Logistically, very, very tough on our race teams to prepare the cars.
Mexico was very, very challenging logistically. Very, very tough on our race teams to prepare the cars a week, 10 days in advance. Like, just a tremendous task. And not only the task of that.
He also spoke of illness spreading through the garage. He estimated 5 to 6 crew members and drivers suffered severe sickness. Lots. I mean, I know of 5 to 6 that were in really, really bad shape.
Lots. I mean, I know of 5 to 6 that were in really, really bad shape.
Hamlin attributed the cancellation to financial factors. He said outright, "Decisions are always made by money in this instance. It's always money." He suggested ticket sales or returns fell short of expectations for Mexico City. He placed expectations in Chicagoland, replacing Mexico City on the 2026 schedule. He said of Chicagoland Speedway, "Good, I think that'll put on a good race. It's a wide mile and a half. Typically, that's been the one type of racing that's been pretty good." Denny Hamlin also addressed the ongoing lawsuit involving his co-owned team, 23XI Racing and Front Row Motorsports. A federal appeals panel recently denied their request to continue racing as chartered teams. Hamlin asserted the decision was a minor part of the larger litigation set for the 1st of December. "That's just such a small part of the entire litigation. I'm not deterred at all. We're in good shape," he said. He acknowledged that losing charter status would force teams to race as open entries with significant financial risk and the need to qualify on speed each week. He added that the cost to operate uncertified cars could run into tens of millions. Despite that, he affirmed, "We're committed to run this season open if we have to. We're going to race and fulfill all of our commitments no matter what. We're here to race." Hamlin addressed concerns about losing drivers such as Tyler Reddick. The charter agreement has a clause that could allow Reddick to become a free agent. Hamlin responded, "I'm not focused on that particularly right this second." He emphasized that their legal process remains ongoing. He repeatedly emphasized confidence in the upcoming trial. "All will be exposed," he said, referring to December's case. He stressed that judges acknowledged their legal position had merit. "We feel like facts are on our side," he said. Hamlin's statements revealed several layers: performance concerns at short tracks, safety and operational challenges abroad, the impact of charter rulings, and broader financial exposure. Each topic underscores pressure on NASCAR's structure and management decisions. He criticized the Iowa tire for offering zero drop-off over extended runs. He compared lap times to a flat-ass level format. He demanded changes in aerodynamic setups, specifically more overbody downforce and less reliance on underbody aerodynamics. He said, "Fix the attitude of the car. It'll make them better in traffic. More overbody, less underbody." Those words echoed in post-race coverage. Analysts highlighted his call for the sport to revisit tire strategy and car design, arguing it affects overtaking and race quality at short tracks. Hamlin placed the Mexico City decision in context as both financial and human cost. Teams faced travel issues when planes were delayed and one aborted takeoff due to engine failure. He described environmental adaptation problem, including water and food, contributing to illness. That incident ended his streak of 406 consecutive Cup Series starts dating back to 2014. He missed the Mexico City race following the birth of his son. Ryan Truex filled in for Hamlin and finished 23rd. NASCAR granted a waiver, preventing loss of playoff eligibility. Observers noted the combination of midweek legal battles, scheduling shifts, and race day performance concerns placed Hamlin at the center of the current NASCAR debate. His dual role as driver and owner sharpens that focus. In the courtroom, 2311 and Front Row argue that without charter recognition, they cannot secure guaranteed entry or base payouts. Losing charters would subject them to starting lineup uncertainties, potential revenue loss, and increased operating costs. Hamlin warned that these outcomes could cause insolvency if unaddressed. Yet Hamlin reaffirmed that team operations inside the shop have not faltered. He said, "Nothing changes from inside the shop," and declared unwavering commitment to compete open if required. He acknowledged that some affected drivers remain uncertain about their future. He declined to comment on Reddick's situation. Hamlin described the legal process as the definitive path to clarity, with a trial date firmly set. Hamlin's critique of tire performance at Iowa highlighted a broader debate on race quality. Analysts across outlets agreed that poor passing conditions reduce competition. His comments sparked renewed dialogue on tire testing and regulations. The Mexico City discussion underscored hidden costs in international expansion, delay, sickness, break from routine, all weighing into the decision. Hamlin's transparency gave insight into the complexity of adding global venues to NASCAR's schedule. Simultaneously, the legal conflict over charters illuminated financial fragility in the sport's economics. Teams without charter status face heightened risk and uncertainty in the playoff battle. Hamlin provided a rare unified voice on these diverse issues. His comments linked event design flaws, calendar decisions, and structural governance risks with team performance and long-term viability. His call for changes is now part of NASCAR's public agenda. Crew chiefs, team owners, sponsors, and decision-makers will likely consider these issues ahead of the next short-track race and the upcoming court hearing. The pressure on tire compounds, race formats, and team liability has never been more visible. For more fact-based NASCAR updates, like, share, and subscribe. Turn on notifications so you never miss the latest developments.
1 lap to go, presented by Credit One Bank. Is there enough gas in the tank for William Byron? Off turn 4 comes William Byron. Does he have enough? You betcha he does! William Byron!
William Byron just did something wild. On August 3rd, 2025, he drove a NASCAR race without stopping for gas for 144 laps. That almost never happens, and he didn't just drive, he won. At Iowa Speedway, with everyone watching, Byron pulled off one of the longest runs on fuel in NASCAR history. No one saw it coming. Fans were shocked. Teams were confused. Other drivers couldn't believe it. This was the Iowa Corn 350. It was part of the NASCAR Cup Series. It took place at Iowa Speedway, which is a short track only 0.875 miles long. The race had 350 laps. That means drivers had to circle that small track 350 times. And somehow, William Byron managed to stay out for the last 144 laps without a single fuel stop. Most drivers need to stop around every 100 laps to fill up. Not Byron, not this time. Byron won the race by 1.192 seconds. That might not sound like much, but in NASCAR, it's enough. Chase Briscoe came in second. Brad Keselowski was third. Ryan Blaney finished fourth. But the real story wasn't the podium. It was Byron's fuel tank.
So good! And Hendrick Motorsports celebrate. William Byron wins the Iowa Corn 350, powered by ethanol and powered all the way to the line.
Byron led the race for 141 laps. That means for over one-third of the race, he was in front. He led the first 67 laps and then again at the end when it mattered the most. There were a lot of yellow flags during the race. Yellow flags mean caution. Cars have to slow down. That helped Byron save gas. While other drivers had to pit and refuel, Byron stayed out. This was Byron's second win of the 2025 season. He also won the Daytona 500 earlier in the year. That win was big. But did Iowa win? It was historic. It was the 15th win in his NASCAR Cup Series career. After the race, NASCAR officials picked 4 cars to check closely. They call it a teardown. It's when they take apart parts of the car to make sure everything follows the rules. Byron's car was one of them. So were the cars of Denny Hamlin, Ross Chastain, and Ryan Blaney. They didn't find any problems. Because of this win, Byron moved to first place in the NASCAR point standings. That means he passed his teammate Chase Elliott. Being first in the points is a big deal. It shows who's the best over the whole season. Byron spoke to NBC Sports after the race. He said, "Man, how about that for some fuel mileage?" He also said the team had a hard year. At Michigan, he made a mistake. At Indy, they had a bad pit stop. But in Iowa, everything clicked.
Man, that was, how about that for some fuel mileage? It was just, we've had our fair share of, things not go our way with fuel mileage, and just super thankful for Rudy, all these guys, all the engineers back at the shop, and just this whole race team. We've been through a lot this year. It's been a lot of growing pains.
The race strategy was wild. Teams had to make fast choices. Briscoe started in first place. He had a strong car, but near the end, he couldn't catch Byron. He said, "I probably made a boneheaded move there with about 10 to go." He tried to get clean air, but it didn't help. Keselowski said post-race about how the end of the race unfolded. "We had so many yellows there in Stage 3 that it got the NOR 24 and the NOR 19 to where they could make it on fuel pitting way outside the window, and we just couldn't get back by them." Blaney was also surprised. He said, "I didn't think he was going to make it. He was going way too fast to make it. He thought Byron would run out of gas, but he didn't." Byron's team trusted their numbers. They believed the car could make it. The yellow flags helped slow the race down. That made the fuel last longer. Still, driving 144 laps on one tank was risky. It could have gone wrong, but it didn't. The win changed the playoff picture. Byron's win pushed him to the top of the standings. Before this, his team had been fast but made mistakes. Now, they proved they can get the job done. Experts looked at the race and saw how smart Byron's team was. They led early. They waited. Then they made their move when it counted. The yellow flags were a big help, but the team still had to take the risk. NASCAR picked Byron's car for teardown because of how far he went on one tank. It surprised everyone, but the car passed. No problems found, just good planning. This race wasn't just about going fast. It was about thinking fast, making choices. Briscoe said he made a wrong move late in the race. Keselowski and Blaney both said Byron's team used the cautions better. The Iowa win was big for Byron. It wasn't just another trophy, it was proof that his team can make the right calls, proof that Byron can win in more than one way. Daytona was about speed. Iowa was about smarts. Now the season keeps going. Byron heads into the next race with 2 wins and the most points. Other teams will be watching. They saw what happened in Iowa. They know Byron isn't just fast, he's smart too. The Iowa Corn 350 will be remembered for Byron's bold strategy. Most drivers wouldn't risk going that far without gas. But Byron and his team did, and it worked. That's what made this win so important. With this win, Byron reminded everyone why he's one of the best drivers in NASCAR right now. He beat the odds. He made his fuel last longer than anyone expected. He made smart moves when others were unsure. He didn't let past mistakes stop him. As the season moves forward, this race will be a turning point. Teams will look back at Iowa and remember the day Byron did the unthinkable. 144 laps, no fuel stop, big win, big moment, big message to every other driver on the track. For more updates like this and in-depth coverage on every development from the NASCAR Cup Series, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a moment from the track.